Hello everyone, Bridget Casey, here to talk about a project I made with the January box of the month called I Heart You. So we're going to start. I'm showing you the bird cages from the fancy bird cages that you saw on my card in the introduction there, showing you what's going to be coming. We're also using the Bokeh Love Slimline paper pad, which this is just gorgeous paper, folks, just gorgeous. Definitely will hoard this paper. It's so terrific. And a piece of adhesive backed vellum, some embossing ink, and some white embossing powder. I've got my stamping platform out. I'm going to place my vellum in there and hold it to there with my magnet. And I'm going to put some anti-static, and then I'm going to just brush that away before using my embossing ink to stamp down my images and just give them a little love, little snuggle to make sure that I get a good impression, which I'm showing you here. I got a beautiful impression. So making sure I don't have any excess powder where I'm not supposed to, because I'm very good at getting powder where I'm not supposed to. I don't know about you guys, but I am. So here I'm putting on my white embossing powder, and then I'm hitting it with my heat tool, which I'm moving my heat tool a lot because vellum will burn quickly. Even though this is a thicker vellum, it is likelier to burn because it's a thinner paper. It's the composition of the paper that makes it burn easier. So just moving that heat tool around a bit, as you can see, and making sure all my powder is heated, tilting it in the light just to make sure. Now we're going to go ahead, and I do treat this with anti-static. I don't make you watch. And I'm stamping that Just a Note from the Just a Note stamp set. I went back and forth about this. I have done a lot of note cards lately, and I'm not putting sentiments on them. I'm just letting the card speak for itself, so to speak. And the message on the inside is really what is the heart of it all for me when I make a card like that. So you don't have to have a sentiment is kind of where I was going. I did debate, but I thought I wanted to use that other stamp set so badly, so I had to do it. So here I'm fussy cutting, and I do not fussy cut this fast. And sometimes I do leave an 1/8 of an inch kind of border there. Other times I don't. This is probably more of a 1/16. But I did want to show you, I did not keep my paper huge. I trimmed them down where there's just enough room for me to sneak in there. And then I am going, moving my paper, kind of keeping my scissors in the same direction. I do come in from both sides because I find if I turn my scissors when they're in, like right there, if I was to turn my scissors, sometimes it'll tear my paper. So I like coming in from the other direction, and that way I don't get as many tears or wrinkles in places that I don't want them. Is that the correct way to do it? In my opinion, there is no really correct way to do it. It's how the scissors work in your hands with the image that you're trimming. So it's how it works for you in your space with your supplies. So always remember that. There are suggested ways of doing things. Like there's a suggested way of heat embossing. Do other people do it differently? Maybe. I'm not sure. And if they do, that's great. That's great if that works. So just keep that in mind. Make it work for you, not you work for it. So just showing you, I'm super happy with how it came out. So I'm going to, in editing, speed this up. I wish I could fussy cut this fast. Oh, that would be terrific. But look at me go. So yeah. The magic of television, folks. Okay, so now I'm going to fidget a bit because my conundrum was these bird cages were so pretty. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to trim any of it off. And I'm like, but I'm going to have to trim some of it off. And so I'm like, all right, let me see if I move it here. Let's see how the shapes fit together. Then I decided I wanted that one with the heart front and center in the center. It's the I Heart You box. I really wanted that heart front and center. So I knew I wanted that one there, so I committed. Now these two, I've taken the adhesive backing off, and I'm still fidgeting. I could fidget all day with things like this, because it's like, well, if I put it here, if I put it there, and, so I do end up putting it, and I do end up trimming off a fair bit, which really kind of broke my heart having to do it. But it had to be done. And I wish I could have put the pieces. I did try off camera to try to put the spare pieces someplace else, but it just didn't work with the layout of my card. So it broke my heart a little bit more because I couldn't use those tiny little pieces again, because they're just so pretty. You can see me there. I was kind of putting it and I'm like, no, not going to work. So I'm trimming off this other piece, and there we have our card. To me, it looked like bird cages hanging from a ceiling and was just a really fun take on the project. So make sure you stop at all the channels on the hop to leave a comment and like each video. We love to see what you have to say. Have a wonderful day.